What kind of horses go out after dark? Nightmares. So welcome back to SparkleDart. You know, we're having fun. You stuck around last time. We were talking about people taking credit for things that they didn't do, and I got to thinking maybe I'm being a little bit too negative. Maybe I need to lighten up the show, be a little bit more positive, make some positive changes in my life and my eating habits and the way that I like to go to the gym. Only sometimes when it's beneficial for me to do something like that, or I'm like, you know what, I'm going to start running, and then I actually make the effort to go down to the gym, and I do that like once or twice, and then I stop going because it's just not fun for me anymore. Is what I'm getting at. So if you want to go down to the gym and like make a difference in your life, change the way that you behave, change your dining habits, your eating habits, your workout habits, stuff like that, and then you just don't decide to stick with it anymore because for whatever reason you think maybe, you know what, I'll get in shape just by eating better, and then you start eating like frozen pizzas and stuff, then it's like, well, maybe you weren't so correct with your assertion of the way that you are living your life. No, there's nothing wrong with that. People don't have to, we live in a world where it doesn't really matter that much if you are in shape or not, because honestly, a lot of people have desk jobs where they just kind of work behind a desk and they just sit there all day, and it's impossible to like work out, gain any sort of muscle tone doing that, even though a lot of people seem to make time for it, but that's kind of because that's all they do. They don't watch TV, they don't watch baseball on Saturdays, they don't like to go down to Wrigley Field and watch the Cubs play. They don't do that stuff. It's just not something that they have made to be part of their lives, and no, there's nothing wrong with that, of course, but if you are one of these people who wants to like make a positive change in life, start working out more, and just kind of live a healthier lifestyle because for whatever reason you haven't been doing so up until now, then you have to realize that even though your coworker, Daryl, he's a lot stronger than you are just because, he goes down to the gym, he works out, he's lifting heavy boxes all the time, and he just, he gets more muscle that way because that's just, how muscle works is you get it by actually doing strenuous physical activity. You don't just get it by pushing a pencil all day, writing out tax forms and stuff like that, stuff like that. That's exactly what my point is. It's just you don't get any sort of muscle definition that way. But if you are also on top of working a job like that, eating pizza and eating Hostess cream pies, you just you're not going to make any radical self-improvements that way. So you have to like make time. You have to take time out of your schedule. And I know how much you like to watch Dancing with the Stars. God help me, I know how much you like to watch Dancing with the Stars, Joshua. But you can't just do that all the time because that's not how regular people function. And I might be sounding a little bit cynical again. Like I said, I wanted to get away from the negativity. But I'm just trying to teach you now. Adult education is what I'm trying to do. Now, adult education, that's something I also want to kind of go over because adult education is something that it's like, so in this ever-changing world, technology, stuff like that, we have to learn more things that were never like around when we were younger, when we were little boys. And, because of that, you have to be able to adapt to the world, and if you can't adapt to the world, then you're kind of out of a job, and that's really a big problem for a lot of people now. In this modern world, we live in a place where if you know how to use computers and stuff like that, you're probably guaranteed at least a very basic desk job. If you can use word processing technology and spreadsheet technology and stuff like that, then you're probably going to be guaranteed a job in this ever-changing modern world. If you stay up with it, if you get a degree, associates is fine. You could get like a certificate instead of a degree. That would probably be just as acceptable. That's kind of my opinion. Maybe that's not actually true, but that's just something that I think it might be true. And if it's not true, then go ahead and not listen to me. But going to college, adult education is certainly important, and some places will actually fund you to go ahead and like continue your education. They will let you pick from like a community college that you can go to and learn all sorts of things. Like you can learn about calculus and statistics and accounting, and if you do that, then you will have a better chance at succeeding in the world because there are more job options available for you and your fucking little bony spindly fingers that disgust me. And that's really all I'm saying. So anyways, yeah, you know what? So this is going to be a long ways off. I actually just filed my 2015 federal taxes earlier today, and today's actually the day before the due, April 18th, 2016, And of course, you're not going to see this for a little while, so don't take it too much to heart. But you really should be on top of that. Now, I was not on top of that, and I made a big fool of myself for not getting those things taken care of a lot sooner. And because of that, I suffered. And I'm pretty sure I filed them wrong, and I'm pretty sure I'm getting a lot more back than I should. And I'm guessing the IRS is going to come after me, and I'm going to have to explain myself, make a case for myself, and they're going to be like, no, just give all that money back, even the stuff that you actually did earn. And we're going to just take all your money. Even the stuff, we're going to take more money from you than you got back from us. And that's just what we're going to do because, we're the IRS, honestly. We're part of the government. We're a government system. If we tell you that you have to pay something, you have to pay it. And that's just kind of the way that it is. You know how this works, buddy. You've been living in the United States for long enough that you know exactly how this works. We're not pulling any punches. We're not trying to pull a fast one on you or nothing, but yeah, if we tell you have to pay something, you have to pay it. That's just the way that it is. You know how the world works, buddy. You've been living here long enough, 27, 32, 45 years. It's all the same. It's all the same. Now, if you haven't paid your taxes in a while because for whatever reason you feel like you don't have to, then, props to you if you haven't gone to jail or nothing. Now, Al Capone, he was a very big crime lord back in the day, and what they actually wound up busting him for was tax evasion. For whatever reason, they wanted to put him in jail for not paying Uncle Sam his dues. Now, you think that's a problem, I guess. That's completely up to you. That's your decision. I'm not going to say that you're wrong for having such a crazy decision like that. But Uncle Sam, he wants to line his pockets with your money, and there's nothing, you don't have to live in this country, and that's kind of what people are going to tell you if you try to, move out or something. They'll be like, you don't have to live in America. That's on you, buddy. I'm like, no. I tried to move into Canada, and they wouldn't let me because I wasn't nice enough, and that's how it was. Also, I didn't end half of my sentences with the word A. I wasn't like, hello, welcome to Canada. How may I take your order, please, A? I just didn't do that. I didn't do that because I didn't think I had to. I didn't think that it was going to be such a big radical difference from the way that I live my life now, and apparently it is. So thanks, Canada, for not letting me in. I guess that's your decision. I don't have any affiliation, allegiance to your country, so there's nothing I can do really to get too mad about that. It's like I said, it's not really your fault for having standards. Honestly, I wish my country had some standards too, because they're letting some people in that maybe aren't so swarthy, so nice, so easy to get along with, like Richard from down the block. He's really rude to me. He likes to push me down, and he likes to come over to my house and ask for tahini. And I'm like, Richard, I don't have any tahini. What would anybody ever need tahini for? And he's like, I just came down here to ask if you had any, and since I'm religious, it counts against you getting into my heaven for not letting me have these things that I'm asking for. And I'm like, that's absolutely fine. I'm not too upset about that because I don't believe in the same things that you believe in, Richard. So go ahead and badmouth me to your God. I don't think your God actually really wants you to badmouth people, because I don't think that's what religion's all about, is being rude to the people around you, being rude to the people who live around you in your house and your body. But if that's what you want to do, I guess, that's fine. That's your decision, buddy, so make it your own, buddy. That's all I gotta say. It's just be nice to the people around you, and maybe they won't be so apprehensive to help you later on when you actually do need it. Now, that's just kind of common sense, I think. Common sense dictates that you should just be a reasonable person for no reason other than that maybe someday you'll need something from somebody else, and they won't be willing to help you because you were rude to them their whole lives. Like, if you're rude to your son, he's not going to put you in a nice retirement home. Well, he might if he's rich, or if he's just a nice person, unlike the person who raised him. But you know what? That's neither here nor there. That's kind of in the opposite direction of the point that I'm trying to make. So, anyways, yeah, at that point you're just kind of crying over spilt milk, and that's not really something that I condone. That's not something that I'm too particularly interested in. It's crying over spilt milk. That's ridiculous. Why would you want to cry over spilt milk? It's like you're just going out of your way to cry about something that you can't change. Is, I guess, the point of that little saying that they like to speak so loudly into your ear. They think they're whispering it, but they're actually just kind of shouting it at you, and it hurts your eardrum. And you think maybe you should be a little bit nicer to me because I'm going to be paying taxes, and when you're in a retirement home, you're going to have to live with the fact that I'm the one paying your taxes, even though maybe you're not so interested in that. You think that I'm a bad person for whatever reason. I don't know exactly. You were never too specific about that, Uncle Jack, but you always made sure to know that you always made sure that I knew that I was a bad person. And I don't, I guess if that's your opinion, I can't change your opinion. You can't please everybody all the time, and that's kind of what it comes down to, is being a people pleaser. Some people are people pleasers, and if you're a people pleaser, that, there's nothing inherently wrong with that, but you have to also realize that some people don't like people pleasers. So if you're talking to somebody who doesn't like a people pleaser, and that's what you are, that's what you're being, then they're going to start, talking down to you. They're going to stop being rude to you. They're going to stop picking on you, calling you jerk off, and, all sorts of stuff like that. And it's like, if you're mad about that, I guess there's nothing you can really do, because you want them to like you, but they don't like you because you want them to like you. And that's just what it boils down to and it's very cool. That's really all it comes down to, is that these people are just, they get off on being miserable, and they get off on being withholding. And that's just, that's really what it's all about. It's just, sad people live sad lives. I want to fit the word sad in here one more time if I can figure out how to do that. Sad people live sad lives, and I find that sad. There we go, nailed it. I broke it down. I took it to town. I went to town. Blue Skin Boogie. That was my failed attempt at referencing a song that I don't even know the name of. So if you can figure that one out, go ahead and pat yourself on the back, because when you say as many asinine things as I do, you learn how to just kind of filter it all out. You kind of filter it all through a little membrane that looks kind of like an iPhone carrying case. One of those cases that when you drop your iPhone, it won't shatter. The screen won't shatter, even though they build those phones to break as soon as possible, because the sooner the phone breaks, the more money that Apple gets from you. And that's kind of what Apple likes, is that they built up this little empire where they make more money based off of you breaking your shit. Now, if you want to break your shit, I guess that's on you, buddy. That's on you, and you're going to have to be the one who is okay with paying Apple more money. When you break your iPhone or your iPod or whatever, and send it into Apple, what's actually happening when they repair it is they're just taking the hard drive out of your iPhone, or formatting it, or taking that shit all out of there, and they're putting it into an entirely new iPod. And that's how they do it. That's how they get your money, and that's how they swindle you and take your dineros. Now, if you don't want your dineros taken, you can send them to me. I'm more than happy with that. Just send them to SparkleDart.com. That's both my domain name and my email. I somehow got those two things mixed together because I'm very good at computers. So thank you for watching SparkleDart. I hope you liked what you saw. If you didn't, you're probably better off for it. Now, don't come back. That's all I gotta say. So thank you for watching. Goodbye. Mwah.